let me start by saying, so I got to see finally one of the shorts. It was great.
Wasn't it great?
It was so cute, and I think it's like one of those perfect things where like kids will be able to actually learn, but it's also funny.
And beautifully done in typical Pixar fashion. And it's just what I love about Forky is it brings it down to the simplest form. Like what's time, what's money, what's friendship, all that stuff.
Right. Did you do the recording for like all of them at the same time?
No. I think I did the recording like 2 years ago for Toy Story, and then this was only like last December. But they had already had the models for Forky and all the sets and all that kind of stuff, so they really, the process was a little faster than the movie.
You've done a lot of voicing, a lot of voice characters. How is working at Pixar similar and different to what you've done previously?
Yeah, I would say, good question, Steve Weintraub. I would say Pixar, even though I'm grateful even to have the gigs, but Pixar did something that was very unique in that you're usually separate from the producer and writer and director by like this sheet of glass, and you have your headphones on, and then all the sound goes off, and you're like, and you just see mouths like, you don't know what they're talking about, but you know they're talking about you. Pixar brought us all into the same room, so it was like the writer, the producer, everybody was in the same room, so it really created this kind of intimacy and warmth that I think catered really well to kind of the movie.
I think I asked you this at the Toy Story 4 junket, and I'm just going to ask it again now. Have they provided you with the the passport for life for Disneyland or Disney World?
No, they have not. No, they have not, Steve Weintraub. And can you say that again to the camera?
Right. Have you gotten your passport for life for Disneyland or Disney World?
No, I have not, Steve Weintraub. So let's make that happen.
What about a free subscription to Disney Plus?
No, I have not. So let's get that swag going.
Right. I actually think that the Disney Plus format, the streaming service, is going to be a massive, huge hit.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Is there another show on the format that you're excited for, or are you sort of just...
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum's. I'm such a huge fan of his, and he is so interesting to me, and just, I know he paired with National Geographic for this, and just watching him in these different scenarios, having these conversations, I'm just like, I love him.
Yeah, I saw the first two because Jeff's here to also talk. It's great.
I know.
It's great. Like, it's so good.
He's just, also his style is interesting, just everything about him is interesting to me.
Jumping back into Forky, you obviously, there's a ton of merchandise for this character. Did you get sent a bunch? Do you have a personal favorite?
No, I didn't. I'm just kidding.
No.
Just kidding. No, I did. They were kind enough to give me some really fun stuff, and it's so fun to have it because when I meet kids who are Forky fans, they give me these like little buttons or magnets that I can hand out, which is really, really fun.
Yeah, what I love also about the short is that the animation, it's Pixar.
It's Pixar. It's so beautiful, and just the simple fact that when you look at it, I think I've mentioned this to you before during the Toy Story 4 junket, but we are a very small slice of this pie. These voice talent, most of the pie is the work and the labor and the artistry for years that have gone into this movie. Like, it's beautiful.
We saw each other at Disney World, and you briefly got to experience some of that. Did you have a favorite ride? What was it like being like a VIP at Disney World?
We didn't get a chance to go much because, as you know, I think I just ripped my coat. Not kidding. We were pretty busy, so I didn't get a chance to go much. Cue passport. No, but I did ride the Avatar. Did you ride the Avatar ride? That was fantastic because the thing you were riding on, it would like start moving, and you really felt the experience. So it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's for anyone who's watching this who's going to Disney World, you want to go on that ride.
Yeah. It was really good.
100%. If I'm not mistaken, did you create this show, or the Archibald's next big thing?
Yeah. It came from a book I did years ago about this little chicken who's always looking to his next thing and missing where he is. And this bee comes around and it's like, you gotta just be, man. You gotta just be. And so in the series, Netflix was kind enough to pick it up to series, and now he's a chicken who just sees the best in everyone and the best in every situation. And he has a yes and attitude to life. And it is so much fun. And actually doing this cartoon, Archibald, has given me such a new appreciation for what the tremendous amount of work that goes into animation.
You also voiced a character, I believe, on Harley Quinn.
I did,
and
which is a very different than Forky's character.
Yeah, a little bit different. But this goes back to what I was saying, which is you've been very fortunate to be able to do a lot of voice work.
Mm-hmm.
Is it something that you ever thought that you would be doing? Is it like, did you ever go after it? How did this all land?
No, and if I'm honest, I used to, when I was younger, I had a lot of insecurity about my voice. I just had kind of like, I don't know if it was, I remember this one teacher was just kind of, you know how certain teachers will say something that kind of gets stuck in your head, but he said something that was just not very nice, and it gave me this insecurity about my voice. So doing a lot of animation has really given me a new renewed confidence. So because I really love it, and I love that just how crazy you can go in the booth. You know, and it can trust that it gets communicated through the microphone.
Well, it's pure imagination.
It's pure imagination. It's silly. You play with voices. You can just ad-lib as much as you want because they can always cut around it or use it, and it's just really fun.
Of course, I'm going to bring up Veep for a second.
Yeah.
What is it like for you when you go into the supermarket or when people know you from that role?
And they just hand me their bag.
No, but like, is it something? Do people always want to bring up certain things with you, or is it just one of these things where it's like, I love the show, I had to tell you?
I think they're always just very kind and just say, hey, I love the show. I do love when, since it's been a while since I've done Arrested, when Arrested development fans come up and they say, oh my gosh, I love this part, I love this part, I love this part. And I'm always like, I have no memory of what they're talking about because I've really only seen each episode maybe once or twice. And so when they start saying, do you remember when Buster did this? I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying, but please tell me because it sounds hilarious. So it's fun to be kind of reminded of what Mitch Hurwitz wrote.
I have to stop there, and I'm just going to say, congrats on this. And I really,
Thanks.
And for people that don't know, how many episodes is this?
There's 10.
And it's what, one a week?
It's one a week. I think they're putting out 2 the first week and then 1 the weeks after. And it's just like, it's typical Forky fashion, just seeing the world very simply and just simple truths. And I love that.
I cannot wait to finish them all up.
Thanks, man.